Friday driver meeting. After COVID's over, we will actually have food to serve for you guys, but until then, we have to do our social distancing and no shared food. That's why you came on to us for the food, huh? And it is nicer too when COVID isn't an issue because we do have senior drivers from all different fleets that are in the yard. We used to have 20, 30 drivers in here at one time. So it was nice because the other drivers would be able to give you input that maybe the person running the meeting didn't know the answers to, and it was a lot more engaging. So instead, I do this, and we just talked about a few things going on in the company, areas that we'd like to see the drivers focus on, any new things happening, and then the drivers can call in and listen to it at a later date, whoever's over the road and can't make it in. So I always like to go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves because I only know a few people in here, not some of the other drivers. I'll go first. I'm Chris Clark. I'm the glass division manager. I'm going on 21 years with the company. And I'm a grandma of 3. I don't know what else to say. So there you go.
Randy Spurlock. I'm the flatbed trainer and been here 19 years, somewhat, since 98. I know the math doesn't work out, but it works out otherwise.
Oh, you're counting breaks.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute.
But I've driven mostly heavy haul. Chris has tried to entice me over to the dark side a couple of times.
He's done more than that. Permits and glass securement training, flatbed training, heavy haul, orientation, everything.
Glad to see y'all.
Okay, sir.
Mike Pierce, I'm a return driver going back onto heavy haul.
Oh, good to have you back.
I thought you looked familiar.
So,
I'm Loria Rivera, and I just got done with school.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, so you're off for Blackwell? Okay, welcome.
Thanks.
Monty Calkins, dedicated Kingsburg class to Canada and back.
How long have you been here?
I was here 5 years, retired, came back, been here 2 years.
He missed us.
Yeah.
All right.
Joe, reefer, Blackwell. Yep. Not a lot else to say.
I-5, dedicated, 11 Western.
11 Western, but they say apparently on my thing it says OTR, but
Oh, well, I think we actually just got rid of the OTR fleet for reefer because we were so busy 11 Western, so,
well, Western 11 is always busy.
yeah. So, welcome.
Sean Strack, and I'm gonna be going into the lower 48 OTR division Midwest. Coming on, don't know anything about it, but sounds good.
It'll be fun. I'm the best person to work for.
It'll be great. My name's David Prill, and she told me where to go for 17 years because I did glass. And then I retired driving, and I've been in the yard for the last 4 years working in the parts room.
Has it been 4 years already? Time flies when you're having fun, huh?
Yeah,
So.
real quick.
Okay, so just a few things that I'll go over that you drivers probably won't be real privy to because you're new to us. The Career Center, well, you might know this piece. The Career Center right now is running a referral bonus special. So Tony Walden, glad to have you. $2,400 for any driver that you refer with an application dated the month of April. It's paid to you in one lump sum, 30 days after the date of hire for your referral. Hopefully they wouldn't quit in 35 days, but you still get the money 30 days in. So we're really trying to push for word of mouth. You guys are the best source of promotion that we have out there over the road. Just make sure that you tell them who to call and who sent you or who sent them, and you'll get put on the list for the reimbursement. So pretty steep incentive. Why haven't you hired anybody?
I haven't talked to anybody.
You don't talk to anybody?
No, I stay away from people.
Oh, alright, so $2,400 for the month of April. The shop and our fleet department over here was kind enough to give me some input on some reminders for the drivers. Super important that we get the DOTs and the short and full services done on time. We just had a driver, 54 days past his DOT on his truck. We had another driver that was 24,000 miles past due on a service. And it's really a no-brainer. So the way our system works, when you get your truck, you will have a service interval card in your licensing book. It even actually shows you when to get them done. But if you forget that handy little card is in your book, 30 days before the expiration or when the service is done, they will send a message to the truck. Then they will send you a reminder message every Tuesday and Thursday until it's completed. So with us not having assigned trailers, that's the reason for the Tuesday, Thursday reminders, because we do swap trailers quite often. So the one guy got the 30-day message, he dropped that trailer, you pick it up, so you'll start seeing Tuesday, Thursday messages until it needs to get finished.
Except Blackwell, every day, once it goes past that service time, and it gets, I think, on the trailers, I think it's 100, if it gets more than 50 hours past, it'll start sending it every day until you get it done.
Right. The goal being it not going past the date it's due. So, the main thing for that is if something significant happened to the maintenance on either the truck or the trailer, not getting those timely services done voids our warranties. So we definitely want to make sure we get them done in time. Super easy to get them done here. 24 hours before you show up to the yard, send in a service request with your ETA. They'll put you on the schedule and they'll send you a confirmed message with your appointment time for the shop. It has really turned into a smooth running operation over there with these appointments and stuff. So, and they're quick in turnaround. So that also leads me into pre and post trips. I know Sean and I talked about it a little bit, but super important, mandatory company expectation, do your pre and post trips on your trailers. Example, I had a driver call in, owner operator, picked up a trailer, loaded it, and then called driver services and said it was past due on its DOT, like October of 2020, past due. So, I looked it up and 12 different drivers had this trailer for 25 different loads since October of last year with outdated DOT sticker and paperwork on the trailer. Yeah, not a big shock. But come to find out, it actually had been done, but the paperwork just had not been left with the trailer and the sticker hadn't been updated. So the drivers prior to either didn't do a pre-trip and didn't notice it, or they did and they just didn't care. That's no bueno. So call driver services, we can look for the hard copy, get it to you. If it isn't done, then we will need to get it serviced, but super important for those. Any questions? You look like you gotta say something. Alright.
No, we've had quite a few drivers that are like that. They just, sometimes they get the stickers put, like if they get them done in a TA.
Right.
Or even at the Loves are pretty good about it, they'll put the stickers on right there.
Right.
But TA and Petro, they're kinda lax about it.
Well, sometimes they just hand it to the driver and the
Yeah.
driver puts it in the licensing book or sets it down somewhere and it doesn't get done. He's got it on hand, but then, oops, I dropped that trailer and he still has the paperwork and all his stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an honest mistake, but we just gotta make sure that we keep an eye on it because it's going to directly impact our CSA scores, which is what I'm coming to next. We just got an update as of March 26th. Our CSA scores suck. I'm just saying. Blackwell not so much, but you guys are kind of creeping up. So hours of service compliance for combined, we had an increase. We're now at 80% on our CSA scores, and the threshold for satisfactory rating is 65. So we are in deep trouble. Driver fitness. Does anybody know what is encompassed in the driver fitness CSA score grouping? Anybody? No? Let me tell you. Any enhancements that you have, like for hearing aids, eyeglasses, things like that on your license, and if you are not properly using them, violation. Driver fitness is also your knowledge of your ELD system, your PeopleNet unit within your truck, knowing where the operating guide is, knowing how to pull it up and work it. It's really surprising that when a DOT officer says, "Where's your operation manual for your PeopleNet?" all the drivers forget that it's in their licensing book. There is an automatic way to find it as well on the machine itself. I don't know that part though. There's a couple buttons, push, scroll through, and then voila, there it is. So knowing those small pieces really would help us increase that score as well. And then vehicle maintenance, such as your updated DOT paperwork, is decreased 76% from 78, and the threshold is 80. So we're right there at the cusp of being over on that one as well. But it does say Blackwell remains under all thresholds, although hours of service violations continue to climb. They're at 60% compliance, and the threshold for that is 65. So that's where everybody stands right now. So in an effort to give the drivers some incentive to keep up on that stuff, I am part of the safety committee as well, and the safety committee made April ACE your inspection April. So typically if you get a passing inspection and you transflow it into driver services, we'll reimburse you $10 for every passing one as an incentive to keep up the good work. Well, this month, we upped it to $25. So for every clean inspection you get, we'll reimburse you $25 as long as that inspection's dated within the month of April. And at the rate we're getting red lighted through all the scales, that could be quite a chunk of change in your pocket with passing inspections. So, to whoever's calling in or listening in, make sure that you get those sent in within the month of April so we can get you reimbursed for the hard work. Passing inspections?
You know, every time I go to California,
Yeah,
I get a red light,
yeah,
I go right through the scales.
yeah.
I don't have a sticker on my windshield because they replaced the windshield.
Oh, gotcha.
They won't pull me in.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, knock on wood.
I was just gonna stop and have them do it.
Right, so you could get the $25.
Yeah.
They'll do that.
$25.
They will?
They'll-
Ask them to do it?
If they've got time, they'll do it.
Yeah, they
Oh.
will.
Alright.
I've had them do it before.
Okay, so I know for all the fleets it's a little bit different, but for my team, just so you guys know, my expectation for the glass fleet is that they need to be at their point of loading or unloading a minimum of an hour before what their dispatch says. Our customers tell us to have the truck there at 8. That doesn't mean they wanna watch us prep our load for 45 minutes and then unload us around 9 o'clock. It means we need to be there at 7, get checked in, so we're ready to unload by the time it says on our dispatch. That does not mean that if your girlfriend gets beat up at a truck stop and you get residual pepper spray in your eyes and you're late for your appointment, that I'm gonna pay you detention because you don't get loaded until like midnight. Doesn't happen that way. He tried last night. I didn't make it up.
I'm like, wow, that had to be a
Didn't
real,
make it
that
up.
had to be a real scenario.
It happened last night, so
You can't make stuff like that up.
I can't make it up. I mean, I'm telling you.
Yeah, like that.
I've had it all, from all angles this week. So anyways, if for some reason you're gonna be late for your appointment, all we ask is that you call dispatch or call driver services after hours. Let them know so that we can get ahead of it and be proactive and let people know. I don't want the customers calling me, and I know that Roger's not gonna want his customers calling him or Scott saying, hey, where's your truck? And we're blindsided because we don't know, or we didn't catch that you're behind schedule or late. So that communication piece is just super important. Most of my customers like us to be between 96 and 98% service compliant for on-time delivery. We've kind of hovered right at being below that 96%. And a lot of it's because we are super busy right now. And as an OTR carrier, we are booking freight 3 and 4 loads in advance for most of our drivers, and if one thing goes wrong, it's a domino effect on all of them. So I really need the drivers to be on top of their hours of service, communicate if you need a 34, really maximize your time, and be prepared because we're super busy right now.
Best way to do that, especially on glass, be at the customer where you're gonna unload
The night before.
10, at
If you
a
can.
minimum of 10 hours.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then
that's what
after you
we'd
get
like to
unloaded, you're gone.
yeah, that's what we'd like everybody to do. You know, in a perfect world, 10 hours before you're supposed to unload, so you get a full break and you unload, and then you've got a full day to run.
Right.
You know, so we talk, obviously it's not gonna happen all the time, and in Blackwell, that's super, super hard with everything being in real time and the multi picks and drops, and we understand that. But,
Still be down.
well, I'm not saying it can't be, but I know it is a little bit more difficult than when you're in glass.
Yeah.
You know, we rarely have multiple drop loads, so, that makes a huge difference when you're not relying on the first one to get you out of there in time to make your second and third, so. So yeah, there is a capacity shortage right now across the board, industry-wide. We are booking everything wide open and figuring out how to cover it later. So, so timing is of the essence, and hopefully we'll make it through the summer. The last 2 things I have is PPE. It's pretty simple. It's non-negotiable. We've gotta wear it. Or a customer complained about a driver. His pants are all hanging down around his butt. Red boxers showing, no hard hat, no vest, no anything. Setting his trailer up right in the middle of the loading area. Just be mindful of your surroundings. Wear your PPE. And weigh your loads. After you load, weigh your loads. I can't have you guys getting stopped 1,000 miles from the shipper and you're 1,800 pounds over on your drives. Weigh your load. If you're over, I need you to call driver services and give us your axle weights individually so that we know where we can instruct the customer to either pull something off or have you move some gear. In the driver handbook, it says that if you are 300 pounds or under over on an axle, more than likely we will cut you loose with that, but you still need to call in. If we can get you down, moving some tarps or chains and binders, you know, our preference would be to do that. So weighing your load is super important. And it's really not the driver's place to tell the customer to take product off. If for some reason you are overweight, don't initiate conversation with them and then get all crappy with them because they won't cut the load, which happened this week as well. So,
You have had a good week.
I know, it's been a week. Monty, do you have anything to contribute with stuff currently going on in the industry? Or
Just
the company?
if you're hauling glass, just take it easy. Don't get excited about running.
Anything.
Just when you're loading, take it easy. Make sure you do it the proper way. You won't have any trouble.
Yep.
Yep. And just
Drive
be
every load like you got a load of glass on.
right. When you're
I still do that in Blackwell.
coming back empty, drive like you've got a load of glass on.
Monty just had a little incident happen last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guess
Thankfully, he's standing here to talk to us. He rolled a truck and trailer in Canada in the middle of the winter. So, and he came out unscathed for the most part.
a little shook up.
Little bumps and bruises.
I didn't even have that.
You didn't?
No.
Oh. Yeah. So, glad to have him here. But, anything else? Do you
Yeah,
guys
another-
have any questions?
Another thing is,
No?
there's an incident just happened today,
Mm.
and, everybody out there, keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eyes open if you feel like you are sleepy or whatever, get the hell off the road. Get some rest or whatever you need to do to take care of that situation. Make sure that you watch everybody else around you. This is the best time for defensive driving than there is anywhere. Please, everybody, please, I pray of you guys, I beg of you guys, take care of your equipment and make sure you look and watch everybody around you, please. We can't ask for more of that, because there's things happening out here nowadays that are out of our control, and we understand that. But if we can keep our head on a swivel, and we can keep our eyes open and keep things going where we need to go, and if we see something getting ready to happen, and we can get stopped or get out of the way of it, then more power to us. That means that we are doing what we're supposed to do. So please, everybody, just keep your eyes open, head on swivel, get
Yeah.
your rest when you need it, and let's take care of each other out here.
Just as it gets busier, they start rushing. You know, they start rushing, they have a time frame, they're pushing themselves to the limits. So, you know, I think that that's the one thing that our company is really, really good at, is not overcommitting what you as drivers can do on deliveries and hours of service. You know, we're leery when drivers call us and say that they're tired. We're aware and we make the adjustments we need to make. You know, we would rather have safe drivers and late loads than you guys pushing it, so. Just that communication piece and keeping that open dialogue with your dispatchers.